we're going to go through a little bit of what we do to do our goal setting here. It's actually my favorite time of year. No matter if it's all fresh thoughts. If you had a great 2017 or if you had a challenging 2017, it's really all about the restart, the refresh, the bringing your mind back to where it needs to be, setting those new priorities, and knowing what to measure in the upcoming year and how to kind of refocus back onto those goals. So very interactive session. Whoever wants to jump in and kind of share with us on your own goals and your own priorities for 2018. And we can kind of go through some of the measurables that we have as well. Corey, welcome. Good to see you. So I guess we'll just jump in. If you guys want to see, anybody want to add anything while I try to pull up? I'm going to pull up a screen here, so hopefully share it with you guys.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. But anyone want to jump in with their resolutions that will, 98% of them will fail, or your business goals that you guys want to go over for 2018 while we pull this up?
I need to lose 50 pounds. Can I talk about that?
Yes.
Wow, okay, that's good.
Let's talk about that, TJ.
We're not just business goals here. No, seriously.
Oh, really?
We're on a diet, so.
Got a diet. Yeah.
Trying to lose some weight.
Yep.
It's everything.
That's right.
I'm trying to get to my original weight, 9 pounds, 7 ounces.
Awesome. Good luck with that. Oh, man.
All right.
I invited another guy. He should be on it in a minute.
Okay, cool. Nick, are you bringing up the our spreadsheet, or how you want to do this?
It's actually our action plan helper that I'm bringing up.
Oh, okay. Cool,
I'm trying to. I see it's giving me every option except that one to share on my screen here. So let me see if I can try that.
Nick's going to show you. I mean, we every week basically are monitoring, number of direct mail pieces going out, number of phone calls made, number, rehabs that we've bought, all that stuff, offers that we've written. It goes by the week just so that we can, how many offers before we can buy a deal, that kind of stuff. Other KPIs that we generally track are, what's our marketing spend per deal. That's a good one. That's a good indicator of, is that going up? Is it going down? How is our conversion rate? So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different indicators that we keep track of. I can't see anything though.
You can see nothing? How about
black screen, Nick?
Resume share. It's saying that I'm paused. You see anything now?
Anyone else seeing it? I'm not seeing it.
No.
This Zoom sucks. Not everybody.
Do you have to select or highlight the application that you're trying to share?
I did all that already. We'll see. It just came up on my screen as if it's being shared, but yeah, it's we're having an issue here. Sorry, everybody. We track. This is awkward. We track the big departments that we track. And Rob, so that you know what I'm going off of, I'm going off of the action plan helper that is in the AARE Mentor folder. The things that we track are lots and lots of things, but the main three that most real estate investors will also track, I set up like a sample spreadsheet for a lot of you guys. One is on Dealflow, which is rehabs and wholesales. You'll see how when we, you will eventually see how when we set up, you take your, who here does a vision board? Anyone does a vision board or do more visual and emotional goals for the year first to start out the whole year? Who does that around on this call?
I mostly write them.
Yeah.
You write them down? You write the goals down?
Yeah, write them out.
Do you care to share? Are they all personal? Do you care to share any?
No. Yeah, I'll share it. I think all of everything's kind of tied together, business, life. It's so they kind of all run together as far as goals go.
Absolutely.
But for me, I've had my real estate license for a year now, as a salesperson's license, and I guess I'm looking. I really needed to focus on what I'm doing with it this upcoming year, and so I started with that as a goal, and from there it kind of made other goals, business and personal, and it kind of went from there.
Okay.
That's awesome. Excellent.
So when you say that, I mean, So you've had it for a year. Have you done anything with it? Or you bought anything? Or
Well, I've just acted as an agent. Currently I hang my license with Coldwell Banker, and I've done. It's a part-time deal for me right now. My full-time business, I'm a contractor, self-employed contractor.
got it.
So I've been able to secure one listing and sell it, and from that listing, I picked up another listing that's currently on the market.
Good for you.
And actually, just got a call today from another realtor that wants to see it on Monday. So that's what happens.
That's awesome.
Great.
So are your goals more investor focused, or would you say
They are. What I learned in my past year is that I really don't care for retail real estate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm an investor at heart. My background's multifamily.
Yep.
I'm a contractor, so I've done fix and flips. So helping customers buy and sell houses solely is not what I want to do with my real estate license, I guess.
No,
there we go.
absolutely. Oh, there we go. It's up now.
Hey.
All right.
I see it.
Oh my God. I can't even tell you how much effort that took.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, can you all see the sweat beating on my forehead? Is that what's happening?
A little bit.
Yeah, I can see it now.
I thought you were just glistening.
Thank you. I'll take that with Corey. Yes. This is in no means to be a way for everyone to do their own goal setting. A lot of you might have. I point a lot of people to an older blog post that we repost every year or so, and we use it as an entire. We take 3 full days off at the office, and we kind of go through the different steps that it takes. Right. So we look back in 2017. We say, what did we get to accomplish that were on our goals from when we started the year? What did we get to? What did we not accomplish? And how can we better that throughout the year? And every single what I call a department has its own set of measurables, has its own set of kind of considerations. And this was just what we called a helper to help us go through each of the business departments. Now, before we even get to this part, there's a big element of what kind of year did we want to have? What did we want to focus on, right? How much time, where was I spending most of my time over this past year? What challenges did we have that I couldn't get to those same goals that we set for 2017? So there's a big exercise that comes even before this. And once we kind of do that review and kind of let go of a lot of the negatives and kind of hold on to those positives and the lessons learned over 2017, we then set out to establish, okay, where are we right now? So we will come up again with our kind of written vision board, if you will, or what we don't call resolutions because resolutions fail, right? But we'll come up with 10 statements that we will do better this year with. So very generic, general, not really measurable statements, just affirmations almost of who we want to be this year, where do we want the business to go, and who do we want to be as people this year. And once we get through there, some of us do vision boards. Someone's writing on my thing. Who's writing on my thing? Who did it?
Appreciate it. I would love to try to help out anyway.
I like that. Someone. Jose, is that you talking?
I'm not talking.
Oh, okay. I want to call somebody out here. I hear someone doing business, which I love.
Honestly, we need to set aside some time.
All right. I am going to
and see what we have here.
Just mute all.
That was Andrew.
You should mute everyone until just somebody has something to say. They can unmute themselves.
Oh, thank you, Corey. You know how to do this. How does that happen? Hey, you the host, Rob?
Mute. Yeah, you can mute all, I think, right?
There we go. Mute all.
Yeah. Except me. You shouldn't mute me.
I'll have to mute themselves. Yes. All righty. Rob, are you also muted? How about now?
No, I'm not. Yeah. Okay,
excellent. Cool. All right, cool.
Yeah. So I mean, just to also say, obviously, if you guys have bought the Complete Dealflow, is this in there? I don't remember, to be honest with you. Is this included?
This action planner helper is not, but I was going to offer it to anybody who wanted it after this meeting.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So whoever wants it can just shoot us a quick email. Better yet, I might force you guys to like both the Complete Dealflow page and Facebook page, and we can and then just put your email in there so I can grab it. We can send it out to everybody. That will help us get our fan page up.
Absolutely.
but whoever's interested in it. So sorry to keep talking and harping on this, but so we've done these affirmations. We've kind of said who we want to be as people going forward in 2018, where we want the business to be in 2018. Then we go through the exercise of seeing where we are on a current overhead basis, or we take our vision board, right? For some of you, it's like a written type sheet. We say, okay, where do we, is our 5-year goal still the same? Do we still want to live here? Do we still want, you know, the Lamborghini? Do we still want to take our kids on any vacation they could possibly want? We kind of go through those steps again, just like we did at the very beginning of our real estate careers. We read Rich Dad Poor Dad, or when we took that seminar, that guru course, and we take those numbers just like before, and we have to back those numbers into a 5-year income goal. So if we have a 5-year income goal, that's easy. We then back that into an annual goal, and we start with an annual expense figure that we know at the top we need to hit. In our case, in our business, we have an overhead that we have to cover, which is a lot of marketing. There's investor funds that we cover. We do have an office. We do have some help in the office. So we take our overhead, we kind of multiply that with a multiplier to make sure we try to hit our vision board or affirmation goals, if you will, or our 5-year work of day of play. And finally, we get to what you're seeing on your screen, which is really the nitty-gritty of getting those numbers to work for you, okay? So you guys can still see the screen? Rob, you can see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, fabulous. This is a sort of not stripped down version, because we definitely use this, but this is one, if your only business during the year is, rehabs, wholesales, if you're a licensee, you can get commissions. And if you are also a landlord, you want to be a rental owner. We're a big proponent in the office, Rob will tell you, of converting a lot of our active income into passive income. So trying to get those rentals up, especially this year, is going to be very, very big for us in our firm. But this shows you for, I would say, a medium-sized real estate company. Now, if you're a lot newer at this, maybe you're just starting out, all these would be modified. But what this does is it gets you to a net revenue target. Gross revenue target, because remember, your overhead and your life goals and all those are calculated. They have to come out of this number too. So in this case, an annual revenue target for this firm that we're going over right now is just under $800,000. You guys all see that and are with me on that? Or you're all muted anyway. You can't hear me, or I can't hear you. So, but that's kind of where we're at. This 800,000 green number, based on different numbers of rehabs, wholesales, commissions. If we assume an $8,000 average gross commission, this is basically the net income from those gross, where the house takes a piece of that. And there, we based it to $150 per door for net income on rentals. All of these can change. Everything here is changeable. Everything in yellow is changeable. Everything else is calculated. And based on the year that you just had, these are the questions you can ask yourself. We take it department by department and literally go through and rehash every single piece of this. For Rob and I, this is our second year doing it together, so he'll see how we kind of bash our heads against the wall once in a while, kind of overanalyzing, overstepping, trying to find out how do we bring things back, how do we make things more profitable, how do we spend less time on things. But these are the basic questions that we have as kind of like a thought process to help us trigger what did we learn, what can we take into 2018, and how do we literally crush each one of these departments and hit our goals.
Right, got it.
So
for your rentals numbers, though, isn't that $150 per unit per month?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. Yep. Because it's under the average annual revenue per unit. That's the only reason I asked that.
I think so. Average annual revenue per unit. Oh yeah, per unit. That's accurate, right? Because then it's this annual revenue target is $1,800. So if we're targeting 12 local rental units, yes, and they net 150, that's $1,800 for the year. Do you see how that goes?
Okay. So yeah. All right. Okay. Got it.
Same with this one. If they're out of state rentals and we're doing the same 150 per door per month, per unit rather, that is $7,500 to add into that annual revenue.
Got it. Okay.
Got that one? Cool. And I used to be really good at math, and then Rob and I met, and now I do second guess everything that I do with math because he's pretty good at that. So.
But if you're okay, yeah, no, anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, and I have this screen up for people to kind of look at, to kind of take in. We don't have to go through every single question here. Rob, if you want to hit, we have these measurables and these KPIs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead. You can go over those if you want.
Yeah. So what we do, on a weekly basis, we have our Monday morning meeting every week, and we look at how many offers have we submitted, mailers sent out, basically everything for our marketing, and then try to get from that to then what is our cost per lead and what is our cost per deal. I also track number of appointments separately, but so that's another decent metric to keep track of, no question about it, just to see, again, what is your conversion rate? And, you just want to see where those numbers are going. What do they look like compared to last year? Or is our cost per deal going up? Is our cost per deal going down? Those for me, cost per deal is kind of the end all, to be honest with you, with the marketing, and then what are marketing dollars really turning into? Hopefully that's a multiple. That's what what you're looking for, but sometimes it's not. And you're seeing in the market right now with a lot more competition that cost per deal has definitely been going up lately, I would say. But yeah, so we try to keep that. What would you say, Nick? Anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000, sometimes more, something like that.
That's right on. Yeah, 2,000 to 5,000. I think the sweet spot there, I think, is about $3,000 per deal. If we're there, great. If not, we just have to try to get there. And every year we can try to bring that down further and further.
Right, and that's to say, once we look at it and keep this monitored on a not a weekly basis, but more of an annual basis, is going through, okay, not just direct mail. Okay, which direct mail lists am I marketing to? What is my response rate for each motivated seller target? And then what is our cost per deal for each motivated seller target? And then also doing the same thing with our pay-per-click and our website leads. So really just trying to see what's working better, which channel is working better for that year. That's kind of the point of that.
Absolutely. So that is deal flow.
Yeah.
Another one we track. So here, Rob went over briefly, ratio to offers to deals. You guys.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's say that for someone who haven't tracked those numbers from previous year, what's your recommendation to use a system like that?
If you can't, if you're not measuring it, it's really hard. Really hard. You got to start.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all I would say.
Step one, Dickens, is to shut up and do it.
Yeah.
No, you guys see, we're only using Excel, right? Like this isn't even a huge, I'm using an Excel with a blue line written right through it. I don't even know who did that. But this is just an Excel sheet that we sort of create. In my whole business, before CRMs, like in 2006, 2007, before CRMs happened, before any of this stuff happened, I was using Excel to track leads.
That's Corey. It's got to be Corey. I just saw him smile. No. Okay, baby.
But yeah, that's all this is too. So Dickens, absolutely for sure for you this year, if you're sending out mailers, which you should be, you're making phone calls, which you should be, start tracking immediately on a week basis. Because once you get to a monthly, it starts to get overwhelming. So start doing it right now. Like this Friday, like how many did I get done this week? How many sellers did I outreach to? How many bandit signs did we put up? Use your Complete Dealflow system because you have access to that. Mm-hmm. And each one of those are all built up in the indirect campaign marketing document. So how many bandit signs do I have up? How many flyers? How many people did I reach out to? How many networking relationships did I make? Those are all those measurement tools that you need to really, figure out measure that game for next year.
Thank you.
Got it. Okay. And then we have rentals, which Rob went over the deal flow questions, and now if we're on rentals, right? Again, the similar questions. We won't go through the questions, but what did I learn last year? Is there any way we can get more out of existing rentals? This is all about rentals for us as a general whole, right? It's converting that day-to-day active managing contractors, managing seller leads, which is the core of our business. This is the way that we're trying to convert that slowly into a more passive business, which anyone who's done rentals knows it's anything but passive. But here are some of the measurement tools we use here. Very similar to Dealflow, right? We still have to make offers to get rentals. We still have to send out mailers or make relationships, which is really key on the multifamily market. But some KPIs that we would use, the performance indicators, cost per unit per market. So, right now in Boston, at Jose in Somerville, what is the cost per unit roughly on a 3-unit building or 4-unit building?
You got to unmute him.
Oh, I have to unmute him?
Yeah.
Dickens unmuted himself, right?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Let me see if I can do that.
I mute myself.
Okay.
So now I mute myself.
I'm going to unmute Jose. Hey, Jose, you still there?
I'm here.
You're here. What's the average cost per unit in Somerville right now for a 4 or 6-unit building?
Ooh, I would say 400.
About 400 a piece?
Yeah.
That's about right on the condo side, right?
Yeah.
So can you cash flow that?
No.
Gotcha.
Everything that I have that cash flows is because I bought it in 2010.
You did it, yeah. You nailed it. You bought right too. Yeah. So I just bring that up as a solid, right? So in Lowell, or let's see, who's familiar with Lowell? TJ, you know Lowell multis. Are you still connected with those or not quite yet? Not anymore. Oh, I have to unmute him too?
No, I got it. As far as rentals, no. It's been a while since I really looked into it.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. It's interesting to see the dichotomy, right? So we use that as one of our KPIs because it's interesting to us. 400 grand for 1 unit in Somerville. That is, we track that. So 100 grand for a unit in Lowell. Obviously, they range from 1, 2, 3-bedroom units, or 50 grand for a unit in, let's say, Ohio, right? So that's one KPI, but then we have to kind of match that with, this is one that I guess I sort of came up with, and I still don't know if it makes a ton of sense, but we kind of measure the cost per unit with the cost per 1,000 in gross rent per market. Because that kind of gives us, like, in my head as a banker, right, how much does it cost per 1,000 in gross rent in each market? And that's kind of one of those good indicators as to what markets we want to kind of go to, right? So in like Western Pennsylvania right now, it typically would cost us, it's $500 per single family house, but the single family houses are so cheap, right? So we still might have to pay 15 to 20 grand per house, but we're looking at 40 grand, let's say, per 1,000 in gross rent. So we compare 40,000 and 1,000 in gross rent to 100,000 in Lowell, but that gets you 1,300 in gross rent. It's just another way we use to track markets and rents and that sort of thing. Now that I just bored everybody to death. Everybody still with me?
Yeah.
I'm seeing some nodding. Excellent. I guess right now, Rob, with your, should we just open it up to them if they want to go over their own goals, their own?
Absolutely. I think that's it. Yeah. I think the interaction is probably the best thing at this point. If anyone has questions, definitely.
All right, deal. I'm going to work to try and figure out how to unmute everybody.
Good idea.
All right, manage participants. Here we go.
I just unmuted myself.
There we go. Everyone is back live. So, does anyone want to kind of go over their own situation for the year? If they want to share personal goals, professional goals, if you have questions on maybe not knowing what you want to measure this year, let's go for it.
Goals, buddy.
You got what?
Okay, I guess that for me, one of personally is try to not having my personal life overwhelm my investment life. That's what happened in 2017, and that's where that's where I was unable to that's what's stopping me in 2017. I had so many things in my personal life that I let overshadow my investment life. So on a personal life, It's about to do at least 12 deals this year, mostly on the wholesale side, following the deal flow.
Like everything?
Also, I've been procrastinating to do my license.
Let's give it.
I took the test.
They already did it all. So
I took the classes. I studied, but I just need to schedule the test and just do it.
Gotcha. That's awesome, Dickens. Yeah. Hey, listen, personal life. We're only in the professional world to live personally, right?
Yeah.
So there's obviously no shame there. We all have gone through challenges, some more so than others, as a lot of you know. A couple of our stories here, but it's all about the reset button, right? So a lot of you guys who know me too, I'm very passionate about. It's actually a small little book that kind of sums up everything. It's the Getting Your Ducks in a Row book. It's like literally 50 pages because it's built to be effective for time management. And it's that reset button. Every year is a reset button. Every month is a reset button. Every week's a reset button. Every day is a reset button, right? Your top 3 priorities, the hardest one first every single day. But more importantly, what all of us, I think a lot of us struggle with, every minute's a reset button. If we're working on what we consider a top-level project that's going to help grow us personally or grow us professionally, then and we get a call from a seller, right? Drop everything and take the call because it's an IGA. But then we have to get refocused. Like what happened? So now we have to refocus ourselves, get right back to where we were, and that's another minute to turn it all around. So that's, I guess, why I'm so passionate about year end and the planning and the goal sessions, because literally at this point, anything that's realistic is possible. And if it's not realistic, let's shoot for it anyway.
Really?
You know?
Yeah.
Aim for the stars. Maybe you'll hit the moon, right?
Or Mars.
Or Mars.
This is Mario. I like to
Mario's there,
chirp in.
buddy. What's up?
Of course. As a fellow New Yorker, I want to learn to love my Bostonians. No. Sorry. Now I'll get back
Mario's
to
a Mets fan.
hell yeah. I guess the thing is, I would say for at least me, was consistency.
Yes.
Consistency, and also too many things that I have on my what the hell is the English expression, in the fire pit. So in other words, work in New York and Boston at the same time. So I'm going to focus on the sense of this year. And I have a lovely, lovely partner, which most of you may not be aware of. And, and that based upon that, we're going to use our skill sets. In other words, there's certain aspects of the business that I'm better at that Marcia may not be, and to use each other's power. So that's our main focus in 2018, is to use our skill sets, learn from each other, because I don't really need to learn too much. No, I'm kidding. And then go from there and expand. My question to both you and Rob and Nick is, what was the percentage of 2017 versus 2018 did you increase? I usually like a 10 to 15% increase from my workload of what I did in 2017. Obviously, from the mortgage point of view, I had that experience since I'm just a newbie in real estate investing. I don't have that number. But what do you guys go? Do you shoot from a 15% increase from what you did last year?
I think it's a very difficult question to answer because we kind of just went over. Did you see that screen that we had up, Mario?
No, I was dealing with cats, so I couldn't.
Understood. We measure so many different items, and it's not about a 10 or 15% increase, right? Like a real estate agent can be like, I want to do X amount more commissions. And that's actually an easier goal to set. And then they back that into what they have to do to get there. Well, we're really about personal growth, business growth and development. Rehabs, in wholesales, we might not have met our number for 2017. So we have to kind of go back and say, all right, what do we have to kind of put in place to hit those for 2018? But on a rental perspective, or on the property management perspective, or on building a real estate team perspective, we completely hit it out of the park, right? So it's really all about measuring the personal and professional goals that you have on each single level. I'm going to reshare that screen so you can take a minute to look at it too while we hear from a couple of the others so you can see it. And as a reminder to everybody on this call, Whoever wants a copy of this Excel sheet, I'm more than happy to share it with you guys. Just I'm going to force everybody to like the Complete Dealflow System, the main page, and I'm going to force you to like the AA Real Estate Group Facebook page as well. So you just get on there and start clicking, liking those pages, and then just put your email right in the comments, and what we'll do is we'll gather those emails and send everybody a copy of this Excel sheet if it does help you.
What happened if you already like them?
Then you're in good shape.
Then unlike it first, then like it again.
Nick, it's telling us our remaining meeting time is only 6 minutes, just to let you know.
Yep, I'm aware of that. We wanted to get whoever else wants to kind of participate. We wanted to kind of, everybody's got another 5 minutes or so to kind of chime in what they've got.
I just had one thing. Sorry, I'm fighting a head cold here.
No problem.
The spreadsheet you put up there was awesome. The way you guys track things and the questions you ask, and one of the newest things I was reading or listening to, the author was talking about hitting singles, like using a baseball metaphor. Just get on base. Just wake up every morning and just concentrate on hitting a single. You don't need to hit a home run every day. Just hit a single and get on base. Next day, hit another single, and using the baseball metaphor, eventually you're sending a guy over the plate every day, just hitting singles. But you need to track those singles. And I think that's why I love that spreadsheet. Tracking those singles that you hit every day, I think can be, well, for one, it can be very encouraging, but for two, it can be educational as well. So you know where you stand every day. No matter how small the single was that you hit, at least you know you hit it. And so I think that the two kind of, it's interesting. I just read that or heard that on audiobook or something this past week, and now you come up with this. So I just thought it was interesting. The two kind of overlapped.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at it, you're absolutely right, Joe. I mean, you look at it from, like, let's just say from an agent perspective, and you want to take, I don't know, X number of listings. If you overwhelm yourself and you look at the number of calls you have to make, and it's 1,000 a month, that's going to overwhelm you. But if you look at that each day, how many calls you have to make, like you said, if you break it down to granular, each hour, how many calls do I have to make in order to hit that goal, it becomes way more manageable. And, it's like, how do you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. So that's just the way. Yeah, absolutely. The hitting singles is a great analogy, definitely.
And you know what, guys? The singles are always going to be there, right? So in this deflating market, luxury home week, well, that's a whole nother webinar and Zoom meeting. So we won't get into that right now. Right. Can anyone see my screen again?
I can.
Okay.
I can see it.
All right, fabulous.
I can see it.
Just so that you guys know, too, I'll put this in the same spreadsheet, but this set the bar is kind of how – this is the meat and potatoes behind those goal setting meetings. But every single week and month after you kind of come up with some of these numbers, and you can add your own in here, that's when you have to this isn't something you set once and never look at it again, right? So this is what you need to kind of refocus on every single week. You break it down. Weekly is kind of how I break it down. Daily might be a little lot, but on Mondays we go through, okay, what do we need to hit this week? And we just try to get our top 3 priorities down. And if we accomplish those priorities, if we focus on these, they should be happening, right? So that's kind of the whole point. Whatever's focused on performs. Who else wants to add anything?
I'll go.
Cool.
I would say personally that I was blown away by how in detail the spreadsheet was, and it really brought a lot of things to life, and I'm definitely going to copy it. And the couple of things that I know for me personally, I think I get the most growth when I read. So one thing I want to measure is I want to average at least 26 books. I didn't accomplish that last year because I had a lot of things going on and I didn't want to anyway. But the year prior to that, I did, and I felt that was really what pushed my real estate career, was the education part. Going forward, one thing that I know I personally want to do, I want to wholesale or sell as an agent for deals. That's my goal for next year.
Nice, Jose. That's awesome. Very, very achievable, obviously. So, you sure you couldn't do more?
I could do more, but I'm still a buy and hold guy. So my girlfriend and I are talking about buying some other stuff too, and doing a couple other different things on that side.
Gotcha. Good man. I appreciate that. Cool. Anybody else want to chime in with our 1 minute left?
How do we do that click you said? Just go on the Facebook page?
Yep, just go to our Facebook pages. One, if you are on Facebook, just type in the AA Real Estate Group and hit the like button. And then the other one, type in Complete Dealflow System and hit the like button. That would help us big time.
Okay.
And once you do that, just post, if you want to post right on the either one of those pages. Actually, if everyone just wants to post on the Complete Dealflow System page, that's what really sponsored this meeting. Post right on that Complete Dealflow System page, that you did it. And if we can write your email right there, or if you want to just message us your email, we'll make sure we compile all those and get those out to you guys within 24 hours.
Nick, this is Mario. Question. I'm into little testimonials. Do you want me to throw it into my fan page since I have it and then do a testimonial?
Oh, sure, whatever. Hey, Mario,
if we do that, do we get a little more brown note? No, I'm kidding. All right, so that's what I'll do. All right, cool.
We appreciate it, guys, for sure. But I hope people got some value out of this. We're going to try to do these every other week so that you guys know. Thursdays at about 1 o'clock, different topics and maybe some guest speakers. So definitely stay on the Complete Dealflow System page, and that's where we'll be posting most of them, and we'll be trying to share them all too. So hope everyone got some value out of it.